Hey Duke, Duke's here on the feed on the YouTube. Well, good morning, Duke. All right, so just kind of watching the market gap up this morning, drift sideways below the VWAP, popped above the VWAP a couple of times here. I did take a SPY super system trade right here for a quick $35 a contract, and now we're just kind of watching it drift sideways. Not much of a trend. Again, it's it's a holiday for the bond market and for the banks, so there's going to be low volume today, not so much volatility. So you have to be a little bit cautious. And I did take Moderna short and took profits in it already off this setup this morning. Very nice bearish setup on Moderna, but I don't want to trade too much short against the market because the market's pretty strong overall. So, but nice breakdown here in Moderna, and I took profits in that already at 90 cents, $90 a contract profit. And again, I mentioned Cornell for anybody who wants to trade Bitcoin. This is a leveraged ETF on coin. If you like the Bitcoin stocks, Bitcoin is very strong today. You can see this thing is up 35%. Alright, see if we get some questions here. William SPY super system long bounce on VWAP here, huh? 599 call in at 102. Okay, yeah, this, again, the SPY super system is the markets. This is not a great trending day right now. We don't really have a trend. We have a gap up, and we just have a drift, just drifting, trying to decide what to do. Again, I use the T2104 and TT2000 to tell me what I've got for setups. And T2104 has been bullish today. The cumulative volume index has been bullish. It's starting to weaken just a bit right now. Alright, I'm just going to look for some trades here, see what I can find. Chip stocks are pretty weak today. Yeah, just kind of watching the market turn around here. This is just choppy action here. Above the VWAP, below the VWAP.
On EL, chilling at the day highs, continued activity in the November 69 and 70 calls. That's on EL, Estee Lauder. Also activity in the December 75 calls.
Estee Lauder getting a bunch of unusual option activity today. That's EL. It's really weak on the daily chart. But somebody's buying lots of calls on this thing to the upside. Novembers and Decembers. Nova, that's a solar stock that got beat up really bad last week, bouncing today. Nothing I would touch to the long side here. Tesla's starting to make the high here. Again, I took profits in that this morning off of a debit spread from overnight from Friday. There's Estee Lauder right there. And SPY very sluggish here. It's a market. It's a bond holiday. Bond market's closed. Banks are closed. So it's, very choppy. Volume's going to be low today. So you have to kind of pick and choose your times. I did one SPY super system trade right here. Took profits at 35 cents, and now I'm out. Right now it's just inside this dynamic compression zone. So I'm not particularly interested unless it gets above 600. Again, I did trade Moderna short today, as I called that one out in the room, and I already took profits in it. I took $90 profit per contract on that one. I actually get in right here, as it broke below the VWAP, and wrote it down, get out around here. Netflix. It's expensive though. Trading at about a little over $805. So the option's going to be pretty pricey. Yeah, Netflix pretty pricey. Even this week's calls, $7.95 calls this week are about $15, $1,525 a contract. But again, I like Netflix. I just don't know how to trade it cheaply enough to justify it. Even the debit spreads are not really a good return right now. The 805, 810 is about 227, which is kind of high for a Monday. On a $5 spread, I'd like usually get in for around $2 at 195. Maybe if it pulls back. Again, took Moderna short out of Moderna. It's Cornell. This is the leverage ETF on coin for Bitcoin. Any kind of Bitcoin trades. All the Bitcoin stocks are going up here today. Pretty nice. Mara up nicely, Riot up nicely, and Coin also up nicely. Kind of compressing, but I mean these are fairly large. The candles look small, but there's fairly large differences in price on them. All-time high at Netflix. Market's starting to pull down a little bit. Palantir up again today, almost 6%. But market's starting to weaken a little bit here, so just be cautious. Again, the 600 is a big level on the SPY. Q sideways. IWM holding up a little bit better than the rest of the market. Joe out of Joby, all out 50%. Nice trade. Josie, you took a quick profit in the MCHP quick debit spread. Yeah, chips are pretty weak today. Nvidia's down about 1.5%. You had MCHP microchip, yeah, it's down almost 4%. So nice trade in Microsoft microchip. MCHP short was a nice trade. Ali, there's a leveraged Netflix ETF. Yeah, I know they Tesla has them, and Joe did Moderna, different strike and different expiration, but made 30%. Yeah, that's good. Listen, there's no right necessarily expiration date and strike price. You just want to be at least I want to be somewhere in the 65 to 70, 75 delta on those things, and give myself a little bit of time on them, even though I may not use that time. I don't want to, I want time decay to be reduced on any kind of compression. SPY still drifting down a little bit here. Shy pointing out FI, nice strength. Yeah, that was a beauty we had last week too, for a beautiful profit, and it is trying to break out again today. It's very similar to the Netflix setup. Netflix is a lot more expensive, but FI, this is a nice setup in FI. No earnings till February. It's a very nice setup. I like that one. Nice looking FI, Shy, really nice. I'm going to take some of the FI. I'm going to alert on that one. FI. I bought I'm buying the November 29th. $210 calls. for 670. Right? $6.70 on the 210 calls on FI. It's a nice one that Shai just pointed out. This is a very nice setup on Shai. We've taken this one before for a nice gain. We'll see if we can't get another one. Okay, we're in FI. Again, I gotta wait for the SPY. I'd be a lot more comfortable once the SPY gets above 600. But we got a little bit of time on FI. Could have gone out further, a little, maybe further in time. I think that's the Friday after Thanksgiving. But I hope to be out of it before that. SMR pulling back today right to the 8. Still a beautiful setup in SMR. Still short LYB, expiring December 20th. Got a lot of time in it. It's down a penny right now. Popped up last week on that big market rally, but hit the 15 and the 8 and just rolled over. So we'll see where it goes. Again, I took Moderna this morning for short. I'm out of it. I took Tesla. I called out of the room Friday for a call debit spread, 330, 340 for 380. Took that off for $6 this morning. And I did do one SPY super system trade today. Right here, in here, out here. It's basically one candle. It's just chopping sideways here right now. So don't be too aggressive with these things. Again, it's a slow day in the market. It's going to be a slow day in the market with the bond market closed and the banks are closed. IWM is probably holding up the best of all the indexes right now. Ali, what was the weekly ATM I took on ILMN? Yeah, it was a 155, 150. I took the November 15th 155 puts. I sold those, and I bought the January 17th. I think is the January 17th 150 puts. Yep. I did it last week, and I want to see what before I would post it as a trade. I want to see what this thing does around the 8. Right, it's sitting right on the 8 right now on ILMN. I like it as a weekly ATM right now. You can get a lot of premium on the 155s right now, but they're up pretty high here. But I want to see what it does today on this pullback here to the 8. If you want to take it, this is what I would do. If I would enter the trade by taking the January 17th 150 puts, I take those first. You just put the long puts on, and then if it bounces, when it bounces, then go ahead and start selling the puts against it, and just hold the 150 put in anticipation of making a weekly ATM out of it. Okay, so you can leg into this thing with the long puts, have that part of it structured already, and then if it pulls down, then you can take profits on the 150 puts. But if it gets above that 8 and closes above that 8 today, then you can start selling on the 155 puts against it. Okay, that makes sense to you? Yeah, I mean, I do this sometimes when I like it and it's pulled back a little bit, then I'll take the long put. And if it goes against me, then I can just take the profits on the long put and no harm, no foul. And if it starts to move up, yeah, the puts that you bought are going to reduce in value, but you still can get a good price on the calls, and then you've got it set up, you've got it structured so you can sell against it week after week.
On HBQ, seeing a volume up the high. HBQ.
Again, pretty slow market here right now. Not a lot of opportunities for the SPY super system trades. I did take Moderna short, and we're in FI long right now for November 29th. We'll see where it goes. It's up nicely today, about 2%, but good setup. We had a big trade in FI the last time we took it. We get in at 990 and out at 1585, I think. I think that's what it was. Gary, you wanted me to send an alert out. I sent the alert out on FI, so if you're set up, and then you should have received this FI alert here. Should I looking at IWM making a new high of the day? Yeah, IWM is the strongest index. It has been all morning. Russell 2000. It's not as volatile as the Qs, or even as a SPY. The Qs are the most volatile index than the SPY and the IWM. The IWM is a nice grinder though, and again, if you're trading SPY super system using the IWM, your profits are going to be smaller and your losses are going to be smaller generally. I'm not touching anything right now. This is just a big long compression here right now. FI still moving up. High of the day right there. T2104 cumulative volume index again regained its bullishness. Get bullish to the market as the market pulls back. It's still showing bullishness, so I want to focus on longs as far as the SPY, Qs, and IWM is concerned. Any SPY super system trades I want to take, I'm going to be to the long side. I'm not taking them right now. I do like the FI though that Shai pointed out. There's a nice setup for long. Netflix is also a nice setup, much more expensive. And there is some leveraged ETFs on Netflix. NVIDIA is down today about 2.5 points. Chip stock's pretty weak. Wait for a little pullback on the on FI if you didn't get filled. You can probably move your order up to about $7. I wouldn't go much higher than that, and just wait for a little bit of a pullback. Listen, if you don't get filled, you don't get filled. Sometimes you miss these. I did get filled. I put it in. I get filled at 670. I think. Yeah, I get filled at 670. Yeah, out of Moderna, it's bounced just a little bit. SPY just moving sideways. And IWM definitely the strongest index right now. Very small movement though. Decent little trade in the IWM here as a SPY super system trade here. Yellow to blue right here, selling to buying, coming across the VWAP, coming across the 15. And it's just kind of a slow movement to the upside of this thing. So it's gone up about 30 or 40 cents, so that's not too bad actually. Again, don't chase FI if it keeps going. Again, you could change your order to about $7 or so, but I wouldn't go up much higher than that. Again, I did get filled at 670. Netflix tech coming out of the compression here. Nice setup on Netflix. Again, very expensive. Calls are pretty expensive. Watching FI as well, grinding up here. Maybe a little pullback back down toward the VWAP will get you filled on it. William, you took a position in APP. Found support today. Yeah, really, really strong stock. It has pulled back to about halfway down through the candle on Friday. See a little extended on Friday. 8 still moving up, 15 still moving up, and it is trying to find support here. You can see that. Typically, the halfway down one of these big candles like this is a decent support level, and that's what it's doing right now. I'm sure that's what you identified. It's pulled back. You see it's right here on the VWAP. And again, it's a nice long setup on APP. So is FI. FI is really the Shai pointed out, this is a really nice long setup on FI. Netflix as well. FI trading up to 725 right now. Again, a little bit of a move up from what we posted it. So some folks might not get filled on that. I'm gonna watch and see what to do. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. I might take profits on it today and look to re-enter again tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I really do like it long here. One thing you can do on FI, if you missed that, you can go out again. You can go out like another week. Go out December 6th. Yeah, options are expensive out there. Two 10 calls going out to December 6th. 760 by 820, a little more expensive. Of course, you're getting another week of time, so I just kind of wait to see if you get a pullback on this thing. SPY just moving sideways. Again, slow market here with that. Bond market's closed, banks are closed, market just gapped up this morning, kind of drifted down. This would be the gap fill down here, not even close to a gap fill. Gap fill's right pretty close to where this pivot point is. But all in all, just very, very compressed market right now. Qs as well. Again, IWM is the one that's been outperforming here. But again, no really big moves. Tesla pulling back here from the high now. Again, I had a debit spread on that from Friday that we talked about that I took profits in. I get in at 380 on the it was the 330, 340, 330 call, selling the 340 call for a call debit spread, and paid 380, get out for $6 this morning. Still up there pretty nicely though. This Cornell, this is a leveraged ETF on coin. Yeah, Joe says bank holiday. Yep, bonds are closed, but banks are closed. Gilead set up pretty nicely today too. GILD, Gilead Sciences, up about almost 2%. It's another nice setup though on Gilead. Gilead right there. Gapped up. Daily chart pretty nice. Nice little doji sandwich setup right here. Big green candle, doji candle, another green candle. A firm breaking out today, AFRM. Again, I'm in Fiserv, FI, took FI. Pulling back a little bit here, so you might be able to get filled yet, if you haven't got filled. Again, I took Moderna short earlier and I took profits in it already. SPY Super System, I had one trade. Here's a SPY Super System setup right here again, but just be cautious here. We're almost at 600. If these are got to be fairly, you got to be very, very nimble on these things as SPY breaks out here. We'll see if it gets, if it even closes above the VWAP, and even if this stays blue. Again, this is just candle, it's just creating right now. Q still below it, and IWM most likely still above it. Yeah. Very, very compressed market here. Just sideways moves. No trend to trade. Apple down pretty hard today, almost 2%. Big gap down in Apple this morning, right below an algo support level. Pretty weak.
On the CGC and a quick volume downtick, block trade 998,000 at 52.80.
And just watching the markets by pulling, just can't get through this VWAP and stay above the VWAP. Again, 600 is going to be a strong level for it to have to get through. See if we get any questions here. The market just churned sideways, SPY just above and below the VWAP, not really going anywhere. Again, bank holiday market, bank holiday, bond market's closed. Just not an awful lot going on. IWM definitely the strongest index right now, for sure. It was a nice IWM entry right there, yellow to blue, selling to buying right here above, breaking above the VWAP. That was a perfect entry. Somewhere around 241.50. It's up to about 80 cents, which is pretty nice on the IWM. SPY a little bit weak here. Bank's pretty strong to say. Pulling back from the highs though. Terry, on the quite good question, he says on the SPY super system, do I consider what the other indexes are doing? Example, I'm looking at the IWM long. Does the SPY have to be moving up as well? It doesn't have to be. It's going to be a big help if the SPY moves up. It's going to help the IWM, but the IWM is fairly separated from the Qs today. So in the SPY, so I would just take it. I would just take it off the signal, and I like it long here. Again, it's kind of, you're not really at the 15 here. You would have had to get in right back here, but it's not an overriding concern. Now it's going to make a difference, obviously, but listen, the SPY is still green for the day, so I wouldn't say it was bearish right here. I mean, it's bearish on the 5 minutes, but not bearish on the day. So, is the IWM going to turn around and start to mimic the SPY in the Qs if they pull down? If it happens for a long enough time, it will. Yeah. So again, you want to temper your position size on something like IWM, with the markets not all going the same direction. Is it too late for the FI trade? I wouldn't chase it. I wait to see what it does here. I'd put like an order in at the maximum of about $7. FI right now is trading at $7.15. So try to get in for $7 or so. I really like the setup. It's got really good relative strength right now. Here's again how I check relative strength. Here's the SPY, this green and red line. See the SPY pulling down, CFI holding steady. If you put the IWM in though, you're going to see the IWM. You see how much stronger the IWM is than the SPY right here. But again, is it going to keep going up? Well, if the SPY keeps coming down, there's probably going to be it'll get some weakness. So that's kind of referencing what Terry had asked about. Does the SPY need to be going up? Not necessarily, but you don't want it to start to drop too fast, because it'll impact the whole market. SPY pulling in now, so we're getting some selling. So this is a big enough drop that I probably wouldn't want to touch the IWM at this point. You have to be fairly nimble on the SPY super system trades, off of these moves, because again, it can move around pretty quickly. And again, after 12 o'clock or so, 12:30, you want to switch to tomorrow's expiration date on any SPY super system trades that you do. You don't want to suffer a lot of time decay if the market starts to move sideways. What do I think of OKE? DGU? Let's see. Energy sector. Energy sector. I tell you, it's getting extended. Energy is so news sensitive right now too. It's a nice setup, but it's too extended for me on OKE. Bitcoin going nuts. Yep. What do I think of MSTR and coin? They're very, very strong today. All the Bitcoin stocks are up. I wouldn't be chasing them. I'd intraday trade them, but I don't think I'd stay in them overnight. I'd enter them tomorrow. And on coin, I had pointed out this morning, CONL. I like CONL as a derivative trade on Bitcoin. It's coin, but it's a double leveraged ETF on on the coin stock. So this is coin L here. This is again 2x long coin. So it's going to move twice as much as coin does. So if you're intraday trading it, you could trade this. But again, it's expensive and it's volatile because it's a 2x. But all of the Bitcoin stocks are strong today. I would hesitate to hold them overnight because they're getting so far extended today. You know, they could keep going, obviously. You know, the presidential election is driving the Bitcoin up pretty strong, and listen, it could keep going. But think of yourself as a trader in something like coin or any of the Bitcoin stocks, any of the cryptos, and you're up, you know, up 20, 30, 40% today, and another 15 to 20% on Friday. Anybody think they might want to take some profits? That's what's going to happen. Not necessarily tomorrow, but there's the higher it goes, the bigger risk there is of profit taking. MSTR is another nice one. MicroStrategy that you pointed out. Yeah, MicroStrategy is nice. I like them all, but again, you know, they're just for me, it's just for the day. I mean, I took some CONL this morning and just kind of riding it up. But I'm going to be out of it today for sure. About 12:20 here. Looking at the SPY, trying to bounce, not able to yet. IWM pulling back again. The SPY is pulling it down a little bit. So no trades here on the SPY super system right now. I took one today for $35. My contract, that's it. I traded Moderna short for a nice $90 contract profit, and I took Tesla off this morning on a debit spread from overnight on Friday for what did I get on that? Oh yeah, I get in. That was a good one. I get in at 380 and out at $6. So my coin L that I mentioned this morning, I'm probably going to take profits in here pretty quick. These things are getting fairly stretched. Ari, PODD, another biotech. Option spreads on the wide side. Yeah, most of the biotechs have wide option spread. Yeah, Pod with a beautiful move up here this morning. Breaking above resistance, by the way. 269.18 is resistance. It's the 278.81. That's a nice move in PODD. So I took my profits on Cornell that I mentioned this morning. I'm out of that one. Very expensive, these things. And again, I'm not. I'm just. Bitcoin again is very newsy, same as the oil stocks are. So you got to be fairly nimble trading those things. Getting a little pop on SMMT this morning, up almost 3%. I'm going to take a lunch here in about 5 or 10 minutes. We'll stop the YouTube feed when I go to lunch. Try to run it for an hour and a half each day. Again, it's kind of a slow day today because of the bond market being closed. But again, I like FI. I did take FI. A little pullback in FI now, down below the VWAP. Went down below the 15. I mean, with the VWAP in sight. Let's see what those are going for right now. 685. So you can get in here if you want. You can get in here. You can wait till it bounces back above the 15 if you want, but I like it here at 685. Again, I get in at 670. So now it just jumped up to 705. But I think this is a decent place to get in right here. IWM now pulling back with the market. Terry, that should kind of answer your question about whether I think you can trade as long as the SPY is not being coming back too much. But when this pullback gets to be fairly strong, then it's going to affect everything. Would I take the SPY short here? I would not. It might still keep going down, but I'm not going to mess around with it. Pivot point down here at 598. About 75 cents away. It's a decent SPY entry right there, but again, I just don't want to be short right now on this. Again, market really not doing much here, just kind of trading sideways. Again, bank holiday, bond market's closed, volume's going to be low. Not a great day for trying to trade. You have to kind of pick a few things off. But I do like FI, and I do like Netflix. And those are set up pretty nicely. APP was also mentioned as a nice setup, which it is. APP is a nice setup. It pulled back today to about halfway up Friday's candle. Joey took some profits in Apple put. Yeah, Apple's very, very weak. William, you're back in the U.S. Nice job. Back to visiting family, working half days with a swing mindset. Yeah. Well, listen, we're going into this time of year is usually bullish. I mean, it's typically bullish. We've had the election results out of the way. Now we got the Fed out of the way. We've got some earnings coming up, but a lot of the big earnings have already gone by. So there's some nice. There's so many nice setups. It's really hard to find the best ones. Again, I like FI. I like which we took, and I like Netflix, which is pretty expensive, but I like that one. Bitcoin again is very strong today, but is it going to continue at this pace? Probably not. So just be cautious on those. I much prefer ones that are kind of grinding higher and aren't going up 20-30% a day. They're exciting, but those are, to me, those are more day trades when they do that. Hey, Hassan, how are you? Does the compass work on gold or other instruments? Yeah, Jennifer, the compass system, which we kind of call the SPY super system. Now, I got a SPY super system and a SPY super system methodology, but they're going to change the name of the compass to the SPY super system as far as the platform is concerned. But it does work on anything that you can load up in here. I mean, if you're looking at gold, or any kind of instrument you want, it's going to be exactly the same. I mean, here's your 5 minute on a GLD. Switch over to the daily on GLD. The only thing it doesn't work on is on FX. Works fine on futures, but not on foreign exchange. Big move down on gold here today again. Again, market's going strong, and gold at least used to be kind of a go-to for protection, but looking pretty weak right now. But yeah, it works on Jennifer, works on anything that you put in here. I mean, even on the futures, if I put in the ES SPY futures, it's gonna be the same thing on the SPY futures. See, we got red here, so you can trade the futures off of this. This is not a good day for trading SPY super system setups, just because the market is so choppy. This is a slow day. You got the banks closed. You got the bond market closed. So it's not something I'm going to mess around with for the most part. I did take one SPY super system trade, and I also took Moderna short today, which was a really nice short. And we did take FI long. Took FI long out to November 29th. Netflix, another nice setup. Right here. Nice daily chart. Beautiful daily chart. All green across the board here. Multi-time frame, current time frame, all green on Netflix after a long compression here. lower the noise on the bell every time I switch chart. Funny, I don't hear it. Interesting that that's coming through over there, because I don't hear it on my end. Because I don't, I'm using a mic. I don't have my speakers on, so that you should only hear through the mic. You don't hear it, Ari? Yeah, I don't know what it would be. Dylan, I'm not sure what that can be. All right, I'm going to take a break here for lunch as the market just, again, we're in a very low probability trading environment, what's called LPTE. Not a great day for trading because of the market just moving sideways. We're trading basically pretty flat. I mean, the SPY's up 0.11, tenth of a percent. Qs are up, down actually 0.2%, and the IWM, which is the strongest, is up 1.6%. The IWM definitely outpacing the market. And if you were going to try to take a SPY super system trade today, IWM is, to me, is the one to use, at least for right now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get some lunch. I'm going to go ahead and end the feed on the YouTube. I thank you so much, all the YouTube folks, for being here. Appreciate it. Again, I'm in the room every day over here on the options room. I'm in from open to market close. So you see what we talk about charts, we talk about setups, we talk about strategies, and we suggest trades to take. We did take FI today, so again, you can purchase either the alert service or the room, or you can get the software. The software is going to be called the SPY Super System now, but the software is goes on to Thinkorswim. It'll be loaded on this week Thinkorswim for you by the Right Line Tech folks if you get it. But you don't have to trade on Thinkorswim. I don't trade on Thinkorswim. I just use it for my setup on my Compass/SPY Super System platform. All right. Okay, so that's the chart alerts is what you're talking about, Dylan. It's on the toss noise alert. Okay, yeah, I believe you. I mean, it's like I said, I know I hear it sometimes, but I'll see if I can mess with it. All right, everybody, everybody in YouTube, thanks again for being coming and watching today. I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing some of you folks in the alert service or in the room pretty soon. And I'm going to end the broadcast on the YouTube. I'm going to stay, of course, stay in the room, but I'm going to get some lunch.